North Carolina is once again facing a hot Senate race. Democrat Kay Hagan versus Republican Thom Tillis.
It is going to be the most expensive race in the country. As we just learned this week, over $103 million have already been spent or pledged.
Tammy Fitzgerald and her troops in North Carolina's pro-life Women Speak Out PAC are right in the thick of it.
We have already knocked on 127,000 doors in the state. We've made over 250,000 phone calls.
And that personal touch may make the difference to voters blitzed by almost $100 million worth of ads. Longtime North Carolina political analyst Carter Wren says all that money's coming in because this race really is a toss-up.
We are pretty perfectly balanced. I mean, in 2008, Obama wins by an eyelash. Romney wins by a little in 12.
And voters here know this is one of a very few states that can determine which party will rule the Senate.
We are going to send Kay Hagan home. We're going to fire Kay Hagan. We're going to fire Harry Reid.
In the final days of the race, both candidates are bringing in big guns. Tillis welcomed the backing of Texas Governor Rick Perry, while likely presidential candidate Hillary Clinton is making a push for Hagan and putting the focus on women's issues.
I think she's had a lead with women all along. Just a few weeks ago, she had a 19-point gender gap with Tillis.
And Hagan regularly accuses Tillis of using his position as Speaker of the state legislature to push a pro-life agenda.
He actually defunded Planned Parenthood in our state.
North Carolinians generally aren't happy either with Speaker Tillis' state legislature or with President Obama. So Hagan hardly ever speaks of Tillis without calling him Speaker, and Tillis hardly ever brings up Hagan without associating her with the word Obama. Fitzgerald says being linked to the president could hurt Hagan.
He's wildly unpopular here. I think the last time I saw his popularity rate was 24%.
And Tillis uses that to his advantage, regularly pointing out how often Hagan votes with Obama.
96% of the time.
But Wren thinks it's been said so often, voters may be numb to it.
It's like hearing something 5,000 times. Somewhere around 328, I got the fact that she's voted with Obama 96% of the time.
One of the main ways Hagan has kept Tillis on the defensive is tying him and his fellow legislators to a huge cut to education.
They cut $500 million from our public education system to give a tax break to the wealthy. Do you know what that means? That means we have fewer teachers, larger classroom size, and outdated textbooks.
Concerned mother Laura McKinnon says she's seen classes jammed with too many students, even an art class she passed recently.
Are there 40 kids in that class? How can that teacher effectively teach when they've got so many people?
In North Carolina, we are one of the lowest paid as far as educators go.
But Wren says making Tillis and his party the villains in cutting $500 million from education is funny math. Democrats wanted a $1.5 billion increase, and Republicans only voted for $1 billion of that.
So there's no cut. It's just the increase was less than the Democrats had projected. And the Democrats call that a cut.
But what this election could come down to has little to do with power in Washington or taking money from Carolina's pristine colleges.
There's some scandal with a toll road.
What Wren's referring to is an issue that's gaining traction with the state's Tea Party types. They're angry over a plan by Tillis to take space from free lanes on I-77 just north of Charlotte to put in expensive toll lanes. For this reason alone, some conservatives, like blogger Chuck Souter, say Tillis doesn't deserve to win, even if it means that Democrats keep control of the U.S. Senate.
From Mooresville to Charlotte, you're looking at a $20 one-way ticket on those toll roads that are going to force congestion for the next 50 years. It's almost $1 a mile to get to Charlotte and $1 a mile to get back home.
As the old saying goes, all politics is local. That one issue could be felt all across the country after Election Day. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from Raleigh, North Carolina.